Hey everybody, welcome. In today's video, we have men not dating American women anymore.
Every time I go on a date with an American guy, he tells me, I will never date American women. I start thinking, why American women are so evil? Nobody wants to date them. What's wrong with them? I know what's wrong. They have high standards and they want to go to third world countries. They want to seduce girls with a $100 bill and a pack of bread. Just want her to serve him for this. Because these girls, they don't know that people can make $10,000 a month in the States. That $100 for him is nothing. It's a chocolate pie with fucking Milky Way. And they exercise their power on people who are less fortunate in life because of their government and their economy. And every time I hear that from an American man, I say, ooh, you know what? I think it's time. I need to feed my cat. Bye-bye then.
Why are older men refusing to walk down the aisle? Why are women who have it all still alone? It's not an accident, it's not a phase, it's the consequence of rebellion. Today, you're getting a masterclass. By the end of this video, you'll fully understand why men stop marrying American women and why it's too late to fix it for most of them. When women abandon their feminine nature, they also abandon the very thing that made marriage attractive. Femininity isn't weakness. Femininity is the soft power that inspires leadership, protection, and provision from a man. When you remove femininity, you remove the magnetism that pulls a man into commitment. Modern women were taught to act like a man, compete with a man, and fight men. Now they're confused why men no longer want to marry them. You can't lead a woman who sees you as an opponent. You cannot protect a woman who sees you as competition. When a woman's spirit becomes combative, a man's instinct to cover her dies. Men aren't avoiding marriage because they fear commitment. They're avoiding marriage because they refuse to fight their own wives every day inside their own homes. Submission is no longer seen as an act of love. It's seen as a conditional trade deal. If you make six figures, if you buy me bags, if you give me a soft life, then I'll submit. That's not submission, that's extortion. Submission is not earned. Submission is chosen. If a woman waits until she receives everything she wants before respecting a man, she never respected him. She respected the benefits. Men finally figured it out. They finally understood. A woman who needs to be bridled into loyalty will betray you when the gifts stop flowing. You can't have the benefits of marriage without the responsibilities. But that's exactly what modern women are trying to do. They want the ring, the wedding, the Instagram pictures, the honeymoon. But what they don't want is the submission, the service, the sacrifice, the loyalty. You cannot have a strong marriage when one side thinks it's optional to obey God's order. You can't build a home when one partner is committed and the other is entitled. Marriage is not a subscription service. You don't cancel because you're temporarily unhappy. American women destroyed marriage by trying to turn it into a me-first lifestyle. And men? Men left the building the moment they realized marriage no longer made them leaders. It made them sponsors. American culture no longer honors wives. It honors rebellion. Music, media, influencers, all telling women be rebellious, be independent, be boss babes, be sexually liberated. Marriage? That's seen as slavery now. When rebellion becomes a woman's identity, submission becomes her enemy. And no man marries an enemy. You can't build a life with a woman who celebrates betrayal. You can't build a future with a woman who despises order. The woman screaming, submission is slavery, are the same women crying at 40 with no husband, no covering, and no legacy. They glorify rebellion. Now they're choking on the loneliness it produced. A man's marriage is the most expensive investment he will ever make. And in America, the return on investment is trash. Divorce rates are high. Alimony is weaponized. Child support is extorted. False accusations are normalized. Marrying the wrong woman isn't just emotional suicide, it's financial suicide. Why would a man risk half his life's work for a woman who doesn't even believe she needs to be a wife? Marriage to a rebellious woman is like building a mansion on quicksand. No matter how much money you pour into it, it's doomed to collapse. Good men finally understood. It's better to die single with peace than to live married and enslaved. Modern women are proudly independent until it's time to pay bills alone, raise kids alone, and die alone. They brag about not needing a man, being strong, doing everything by themselves. But their funerals are filled with regret, not grandchildren. God didn't design women to live and die alone. Independence was never the goal. Legacy was. When you reject covering, you reject family. When you reject family, you reject your own future. Men see the warning signs now. When a woman is addicted to her independence, marriage to her is not a partnership. It's a fight for relevance. And no man fights for relevance in his own home. In today's dating market, too many women aren't looking for husbands. They're looking for saviors. They want men to fix their finances, heal their trauma, raise their children, pay their debts, and still be romantic on top of it. A wife is a blessing. A rescue project is a curse. Men are not emotional rehab centers. Men are not financial bailouts. Men are not child support upgrades. Marriage is supposed to multiply peace, not chaos. Good men aren't rejecting marriage because they're afraid of love. They're rejecting marriage because women stop bringing love to the table and start bringing liabilities. Feminism told women, men are the problem. Marriage is oppression. Independence is power. Now those same women are crying for companionship in their 40s. Meanwhile, the very men they despise have moved on, built wealth, found peace, and reclaimed their power. You can't believe men are trash for 20 years and then beg them for commitment when your cheeks start sagging. You can't mock leadership for 20 years and beg for covering when loneliness sets in. Feminism sold women a one-way ticket to empowerment. It forgot to mention it was a solo trip. Men stopped marrying because feminism taught women how to be everything except wives.
More than likely, I will never date another woman that lives inside the United States of America. It's 50 states and territories, never going to do it again. And the biggest reason why has nothing to do with OnlyFans, nothing to do with body count, nothing to do with any of that crap. It actually has to do with one small thing that most people don't realize is very big. And that's the word manners. And here's what I mean by that. And by the way, it's not just women that have ruined this for me. The reaction and the interaction between men and women have also ruined it for me. Where I'm starting to look at countries like Russia, Ukraine, Germany, Australia, Switzerland, countries in Africa, South America. I'm starting to kind of do some research into the whole passport bro thing because I want to find a woman that's not just, educated. I want to meet a woman that's polite, nice, well-mannered. And one of the biggest issues that we have in the United States of America is people are not, and I'm using people, men, women, or however you want to identify gender-wise, we have a problem of being polite to each other. Okay, so once again, I go to a grocery store yesterday just to pick out some basic stuff, and I go open a door for a young lady because she's got like 3 bags trying to carry by herself with a kid in her arm. And I'm like, oh, that woman needs some help. I go open the door, and all I get is a dirty look. Dead serious. I get a dirty look. I'm trying to be helpful and being polite and try to be polite as a man and not asking for anything in return. But the normal thing to say is, thank you. I appreciate it. And a normal reaction of me after that should be, you're welcome, anytime. That's politeness. And it doesn't matter if they live in the country. It doesn't matter if they live in the city. It doesn't matter if they live in a suburban area, urban area. It doesn't matter what the color of their skin is, their culture, their religion. It doesn't matter. It just seems like everybody has this rotten, nasty, bad attitude if a man does something that's polite. And I'm done with it. Forget all the dating issues I've had, just the everyday interactions. looking at me as if I'm some sort of like demon or dickhead. Okay, so what? I'm not 6'4" and gorgeous like Brad Pitt. So what? I'm 5'10" and got a dad bod. I work. I have a career. I have a small business to run. I have an e-commerce business to run. I have social media to run. I don't have 6 days a week, 4 hours a day to go into the gym and go get Brad Pitt's body. I'm not going to starve myself to death and do all this creative things that Hollywood stars do to get their bodies in shape. Not going to do that stuff. I got other things to deal with. I got teenage girls. We have, as a society in the United States of America, have broken it down to Stupidville, USA. That's what we are. And now I understand the red pill community. I don't agree with everything the red pill community understands, but I understand it now. Okay? I think a lot of them go about it the wrong way. For me, I don't care about a woman's body count. If her body count was 3,500, it wouldn't matter. If she was polite, nice, sweet, and loyal to me, I'm in. I don't care if she's got an OnlyFans or an adult film star. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. How you make your money is how you make your money. If you're going to be with me, there's got to be some kind of loyalty, and there's got to be some boundaries, and there's got to be some things set. But even then, it's like, how impolite are people? And on the men's side, men don't even go open the door for women anymore because of the situations I'm running into, which has turned them into realistic assholes. So it's like, why am I even trying to date in the United States of America? You know, maybe this is the time where the United States gets bigger because men exit the country and bring women from abroad here to help fix the politeness problem. Yeah, women can get mad and get nasty with me in the comments and spit all the venom they want. But look, I've dated women of every color and every culture you can think of. And I've run into the same situation for the last 3 years. Impolite, not willing to just say thank you, not willing to not be argumentative, not willing to sit there and have a conversation and an actual conversation about things. Instead, it's always defensive, 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 defensive. I mean, it's crazy. It's nuts. And men don't help things any. Men don't help matters any. And the red pill community makes it worse because instead of talking about it in a more, hey, let's have a conversation piece, they want to go be Lil Wayne and go, hey, I went to pay attention, but attention paid me. And it's like, what the frick is going on here? I've dated a woman that's a country girl. I dated a cowboy girl, impolite, nasty, rude, obnoxious, crazy. How women that were born on farms and raised on farms have been ruined by social media, have been ruined by all this crap on the internet. It's crazy. You would think that women from the inner city that actually know what's going on, have street smarts, have an education both in the school and in the education system and the street smarts, would be more polite and more understanding of what the world is like. Nope, don't work like that either. You would think women that grew up in Hispanic households with traditional Hispanic values would actually be polite, nice, thankful, agreeing. I mean, all that stuff. And they're not. I feel bad for both men and women right now because men and women in the United States, it's almost impossible to get together. And gentlemen, I want you to hear me clearly on this. If you have a woman that is nice, polite, sweet, caring, loving to you, don't you fucking get rid of her. Don't cheat on her. Be loyal to her. Treat her as if she is a prized possession because she will. There's nothing else out there, guys. Now, my kid's mom and I separated for whole different reasons than anybody could think of, okay? We separated over things that have nothing to do with cheating, nothing to do with loyalty, nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's a very long story, and maybe one day I'll get into it. But let me tell you, if there was effort on one side of it, I would have never left her. And she would have never left me. Keep the effort together. Don't go sit on the couch with a freaking lazy boy up and watching football while you're watching her bust her ass cleaning the house. Treat that woman as if she should never have to work or slave in life in her day. Now, it's all teamwork and relationships, but I'm just telling you, man, don't do it because there's nothing else out here. You got a good woman, you keep that ring on her finger and you keep her happy. Do not get out in those streets. Getting out in those streets is stupid. It's dumb. There's nothing out there but impolite, improper, nasty women out there. Keep the one you got if you found one that's absolutely a unicorn. Because right now, any of those things is an absolute unicorn to find. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks.
In the past 5 years, I've realized that being single is the best option for me. A relationship is not worth it in America. The reason why I say this is because it don't matter what spectrum you're on as a man. You could be first spectrum, an attractive man. An attractive man will not have longevity with a woman that he's attracted to. Now, for example, say if an attractive man gets with a woman and this woman understands that he had options before. She understands that this man has freedoms as a single man to where he's not in need, he's not in lack. She is less likely to want to stay with him for long-term speaking. Maybe the lust part of it, maybe she's sexually drawn to him, but when it's coming to security and the longevity of her relationship, she doesn't want to be with more of an attractive man because she understands she has to compete with other women for the entirety of that relationship. She would more so get a less attractive man for a marriage because that comes with the security of her being and knowing that she is his best option. He is going to praise her. He is going to buy her gifts, buy her flowers, buy her roses, and give her all of these things that she thinks she really wants until she realizes that she has no sexual drive or no sexual passion towards this dude. So she might like that simp for a little minute, that runner-up for a little minute, but then over time realizes that there's no sexual desire. And then she gets attracted to a man like me that's more of an attractive dude, has options, has been single, having his way in life. So it don't matter what spectrum you are as a man in America, it's going to be rough trying to date a woman in this modern day and age. Women are more receptive to drama opposed to good. So if you are a good man and you're providing everything that she wants, buying her clothes, paying for her nails, hair, all this simp shit, yes, she's going to receive all of that. But in the long term, she's not going to really like you. She's not really going to have that fire for you. She's not going to be passionate about you. She's going to get bored. Just like Ayesha Curry did. Is men out here that haven't touched their woman in a whole year, which is crazy to me to even hear. But it's because they've been providing. She got addicted to being provided for, but never had that fire for you. She keeps coming back constantly because she knows that you are a resource that continuously disperses what she wants. But a man like me is not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And it takes a specific type of woman to really be drawn to me, and which is great because I'm not for everybody. And I don't think men in my caliber are for everybody. It takes a specific type of woman to really deal with me. So what I'm saying is, no matter what spectrum you're on as a man, it's going to be tough out here to date in America. You just really got to find somebody who really respects and honors you and motivates you to do more. Don't try and find a woman that matches your hustle or matches your money, because you're going to find a headstrong, dominant woman that's not really going to be there to provide what you really need. Stay chosen.